Welcome to Modified Dreams Not Deterred. I'm your girl Judith. Thanks for tuning into my channel. Be sure to leave a comment below. Competition. Yeah, we're all competing for a higher level or to attain something or anticipating growth or change. We compete consciously or unconsciously, hoping for complete in it. Competition can be healthy. Competition can also be unhealthy. And so it's important to recognize that in our lives as humans, there's some sense of competition going on within ourselves, whether it be our inward self or outward self. And so many people will compete in different aspects of their life. Some compete in the sports, whether you are a professional or maybe you just do sports for fun. Your hope is to win. Or if you're a person who it doesn't matter and you're so into the game, maybe winning is not important to you. It's forming friendship, forming life skills, and all those wonderful goals. Some people compete in a beauty pageant. Some people compete in their career. You want to be that one who is recognized, who gets that promotion. Some people recognize that they have to work very hard in order to be recognized, in order to possibly be the chosen person in whatever area of success they are looking for. Some of us compete for love, right? That could be you grew up in a household where you had siblings and maybe you felt like you didn't get that attention that you needed. And so either you have a greater sense of humor or you tap into some skills that made you special so that you can be recognized, so that you can get more attention. Maybe you had a larger appetite than your other siblings, so you wanted more food. Maybe you desired being chosen as the first pick on a game during recess. So there are many aspects of our lives that we compete without even realizing that it's a part of human nature to have competition, to want to compete. What is important is recognizing, why are you competing? Who are you competing with? Competition can be a healthy thing as well. Competition can motivate you. But let's take it back a little. Do not judge your inward self by someone else's outward self. So many times, I can speak from a female standpoint, but imagine you have this beautiful dress. You go to an event. Prior to going to the event, you got dressed at home, you looked in the mirror, and you were banging, perfect dress. It extenuates all the qualities that you, of course, want to show off because it brings you such a level of confidence. You walk into the party and someone has the same attire on. Immediately, your first response is what? Well, I no longer stands out, so now do I look better than her, or does she look better than me? Or our body size is different, so we're both rocking this dress in its own way. Celebrate someone else. Celebrate someone else's success. Celebrate someone else's achievement. Celebrate someone else who might be wearing the same attire that you're wearing, because when they made it, they made different sizes, many different sizes. And so it wasn't just made for you. However, You're your own individual, you are unique, and you are wonderfully made. And so only you can rock that dress like you. So in those moments when you show up, still feel confident in what you are bringing to the table, because there is someone who might be of your size, someone who might look at you and can recognize something that they themselves is lacking, or can identify with some traits that one moment of you standing and owning your own confidence can reassure someone else. So that's one example. Another example is in the career field, right? There are many positions, there are many opportunities. And so maybe you have friends who are in the same career field as you, but they may be in different department, or if they're in the same department, celebrate their success. Because your friend's success is your success. And when I say that, I remember being a teenager and having a wonderful friend, Sashel, and I remember us sitting down and talking about what we hope our future would look like. And for those core friendship that remember when you were just dreaming, and now there's some sense of reality to what life has become, I think it's a blessing. And so for me, every milestone, every joy, every achievement that one of my friends attain, it's almost like it's my success. Because we once sat and we dreamed and we talked about things that at the time sound real crazy, but deep inside there was a seed that was planted. That seed, it's only your seed. No one else has that seed. There may be similar walk or similar path in life, but your walk is different. Your walk is different because the struggles you encounter is going to be different. The obstacles you overcome is going to be different. And your destiny is going to be different because we're all created different. So it's important to remember those moments. Count your blessings. Count your blessings. People say life is short, but is it? We all have an appointed time when our journey in this existence is no longer. But no one truly knows that, right? No one truly knows when that end is. So count your blessing. For every day you wake up and you're still standing, count your blessing. Do not judge your circumstances off someone else, because everyone is going through something. Some people may be going through health crisis. Some people may be going through financial hardship. Some people may be going through lack of confidence and self-esteem. Everyone is struggling with something. Every single person. Whether or not you're rich, you're poor, you're black, you're white, whatever your position is in this life, there is challenges that you will face. Now, how you face those challenges are a little bit different. And having some foundation of faith, of course, restores your strength and help you to stay centered. And so in those spaces, the difficulties of life is overcome differently, because there are seasons in your life. There are seasons when you celebrate. There are seasons when you cry. There are seasons when you wait. And there are seasons when the fruit of the Spirit is all you have to keep you grounded. But overall, through the ups and downs of life, even on your high point, you still remember to say thank you, Jesus. You still remember to count your blessings. Because it is important to remember where you came from, what you have overcame, and where you're going. Focus on your strengths. What are your strengths? What set you apart? What is it about you that you like? And if you say, well, then nothing about me I like, well, I'll tell you, take a pause. Take a pause and truly think about what makes you you. Because you spend most of your time with yourself, even if you're in the midst of somebody 24/7. In your mind, you spend most of the time with yourself. Find something about yourself that is your strength. Maybe you like to tell jokes. Maybe you have a sense of humor. Maybe you're a good writer. Maybe you have that dream of starting a podcast. Maybe you're watching this video and thinking, I can do what she does. Yes, tap into that. Because it is an outlet that is available to everyone. Maybe you enjoy helping people. Maybe you can mentor someone. Tap into those strengths, because when you tap into those strengths and you give back to yourself, you feel a sense of accomplishment, you feel a sense of worth. Everyone has at least one thing about themselves that they truly, truly think is special. At least I think so. The other thing is, know your triggers, and avoid them. And when I say that, with competition, many times we're competing because of surface level things. So if being in social media or looking what other people is doing or hearing about other people's story triggers you in the sense that you no longer feel accomplished, then it's important to maybe distance yourself from those situations. Or you might have to look at it from a different perspective. Your biggest benchmark is yourself, where you have been before this very moment. That's your best benchmark, not someone else. Not, yes, we went to school together, we left high school, we went to college, they finished their degree in 4 years, and I'm still trying. No. It is not when you get there, it's that you get there. Because whether or not you achieve that degree 4 years from high school or 14 years from high school, you have achieved it. And many times within that period of struggle, you have had other achievement that the person who you might be observing has not. And so you have, okay, think about it this way. You have people who wait until they're done with their career to have kids. And they encounter some difficulties with having kids. But during that season of you maybe being a teenage parent or early 21, becoming married, having a child, going through your 20s, trying to make it happen, sometimes you have people who have careers who they look at you like, wow. Either they judge you for not having a degree, because that's also competition, right? So many times people think competition is just someone who's less fortunate looking up. But sometimes even the people who are looking down, there's some sense of competition. It's like, okay, I'm career driven and she has a family and struggling. Wow, I don't want to be like that. And then you have the person who has a family who is trying to make things happen, and they're looking up feeling like, wow, this is never going to happen. I have so much bills to pay. Every season of everyone's life, there are some difficulties they have to deal with, and everyone's timeline is different. So if your path is you are on a career path to accomplish that before you start your other accomplishments, be thankful that in those moments, remember gratefulness. Remember to trust God in those seasons. And for those people who may be on the flip side, hoping for their kids to get older so they can reattempt their dream, Be grateful, because in every season of life, there is a reason, there is a season. You're in that season for a reason, and there's something that needs to be accomplished, understood, or imparted. So in those seasons, be sure of what your purpose is and fulfill those purposes to the best of your ability. Avoid comparing your inner self to someone else's outside self. What you see on surface is surface. What you even hear from someone is still surface, because you truly don't know the core of their lives, how they get to where they are in their lives, what they have overcome, the connection they have made, the reason they are where they are. So do not compare your entire life based on what you perceive by someone else's accomplishment. Instead, use yourself as your own benchmark. Where were you yesterday? Where were you last year at this very moment? Has things improved? Has things changed? Over the period of the past 12 months, have you accomplished anything? Have your perspective changed? Have you started appreciating the little things? Have you taken just that moment to breathe? Did you finally declutter that closet? Did you learn to drive? Did you apply for a new job? Did you update your resume? Did you remember to laugh? Did you finally started praying? Did you change your diet? So many times in life, we don't think about those small stuff. And I'll give a perfect example. I remember an occasion in my 20s when there was this one particular person who was waiting on their green card. And so they were waiting on their green card, in other words, their U.S. residency, and there was another friend or acquaintance that got their green card. That's all the conversation. So while this person was waiting on their work permit, they were informed by this person that they received their green card. Maybe about an 8 months period after, this person who had their permit for a while got their 10-year green card. And through another conversation, the person came back and was saying in those moments how depressed it and sad it had made her to know that one of their other acquaintances who came after she was here had received their green card. But she didn't give up hope. She was able to work. She had a permit. And she said the sad thing about it is that in that moment, even though she was happy for the person, she was disheartened because the very thing that she had prayed about, hope about, was not received. Yet later to find out, when she told that person that she finally got her 10-year green card or her 10-year residency, that person had received a temporary green card. So sometimes, without having enough information, we allow our desires, or we allow the information of others to cause us to compete within ourselves, or to not be able to celebrate someone else, to judge our circumstances based on where we assume that that person is. Stop beating yourself up. Stop being hard on yourself for what your circumstances are, and instead count your blessing. Remind yourself that happiness does not come from money. The rich man still has desires to be richer. The rich man still has things that he wants to accomplish. Because I believe life is an evolution, and as long as there's life, for most people or many people, there's always going to be a desire for more, for better. But healthy competition is also possible. But many times, the competition that we consciously or unconsciously take part in is surface level competition. When I think about competition, I think about getting to a place of peace, complete balance. If you had met someone who has a great perspective of life and they have balance in their lives, that's the kind of competition I think is great. Aspiring to be like someone else, it's one thing, but you can admire someone but still be true to the core of who you are. Before I end this video, there are two people that comes to mind, and I don't normally name people in my video, but as I was thinking about what I was going to do today and what I was going to talk about today, I think about Cassandra Prophet. She's a Mary Kay person that I met when I migrated to this country. And as a young mother and wife at the time, I remember just brief conversation with her, but I saw greatness. I saw a young woman who was going back to school. She had a daughter and she had dreams, and she was doing Mary Kay. And I, as an immigrant who had big dreams, said to myself, wow, it is possible. It is possible that if I stay committed to my dreams, if I keep God in the forefront of my life, it is possible. And so that was one of my connection that imparted some possibilities in me to say, it is possible, you have a purpose. And then my first visit there was Derek Boyd. And I remember him just saying, you're a smart girl, stay focused. Know what opportunities you were given and think big, go impact the world. And there are so many people that I've met along the way that has imparted much wisdom in me. There are many people along the way that I have admired based on the way they carry themselves, based on the way they show up in the world, based on the way they interacted with me, based on conversation, based on differences they have made. And so remember, you are also in a position of impacting someone's life. And so while you, I would say maybe not to recognize that you're consciously or unconsciously in competition, take a step back and think about, how can I reevaluate the way I see things? The way I see things. How can I reevaluate how I show up daily? How I can reevaluate how I look at my life, my journey, my experiences, my achievements, my failure. Because someone else is looking up to you. Or you may be someone else's competition. You might ask yourself, why would someone want to be in competition with me? I have nothing. I'm just here scraping by. No, honey. If you ain't look like what your circumstances is, there is someone out there that's looking at you and be like, hey, she have it easy. She had it all figured out. And you'll be surprised, because many times that is the issue. The issue is we sometimes fail to understand that it's not as bad as you think it is. Change will come, change do come, but you have to hold on and believe long enough to see the fulfillment in your life. So remember, you don't have to deter your dreams, you can modify them. And in competition, your best benchmark is yourself. So look back from where you came in comparison to where you're trying to go. And at this very moment, this is your benchmark for tomorrow. Be blessed.